That was an absolutely tragic performance from Derby County. It was a very, very poor result versus a Blackburn Rovers side which only just survived in the Championship last season. Now, don't get me wrong, they've been a Championship side for a long, long time, and we are brand new back to the Championship, and we've got a long, long way to go, and we need new bodies ASAP. We need new defenders, we need new midfielders, we need new forwards, and conceding 4 on the opening day is not what you want. And I'm going to go into all my reasons why I think Derby County need to make changes as soon as possible. And before I do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, turn on that notification bell, and hit that like button to make sure this video hits brand new audiences. We've done really well on the channel recently, hitting 1,000 subscribers. Let's go for the next 1,000 then. But we're going to get into it right now. I thought we started poor. We gave them, I think, too much respect. I think overall throughout the entire game, I think we gave in too much. We gave too much space. I think we sat off too much. I don't think we pressed high enough. I don't think we pressed with enough intensity. I just don't think, I think all round it was a very, very poor performance. I think I was talking on Twitter to a few people yesterday or the day before. I think it was Rams Review podcast had put out a tweet about unpopular opinions within the Derby County fan base, and I put that I think Erin Cashin is on not the same level as some Derby County fans think he is. Don't get me wrong, I think he's a good player, but I have to say tonight and throughout pre-season he's looked miles off it. We are miles away from a Championship survival side, and if these performances are to continue throughout the season, it's not going to be very pretty. Now, obviously, we've got a quick turnaround. We play again on Tuesday versus Chesterfield. I think we're going to see a very different side. It's going to be a very tough few weeks. Obviously, Zetterstrom is due to join next week on Friday ahead of the Middlesbrough game, but he probably won't be involved until Watford, as you can imagine. But for me, it was a awful performance. It was a tragic game in general. I think, yes, we had that spell at the start of the second half where I think for 20-25 minutes we probably could have won the game in that 20-25 minutes, but it's a game where we've not looked like creating anything in open play, and this is a problem that Derby County had a lot last season as well. And is it because we don't have a proper number 9? Obviously, Jerry Yates is out until Watford as well. So it's one of those things that's really, really difficult for me, because you look at the performance and you think, right, we started badly. We had a good 20-minute spell and then we were awful again. So it's like, what do we need? What is the team missing? And for me, I think we need a lot more in midfield. Like, I think the midfield three of Kenzo, Ben, Osborne and David Ozo was it was a decent midfield. It worked really well in pre-season, that final pre-season friendly. I don't think adding in an Ewood Adams would change the midfield. I don't think adding in a Liam Thompson would change the midfield. I don't even know what we can do with what we've got, in my opinion. I think the fact is that we weren't good enough, and having a performance like that against a team like Blackburn Rovers, who are probably going to be down there with us, isn't good. Ultimately, it means when we play Blackburn at our place later on in the season, we have to beat them, because they're a team that we're going to be scrapping with, in my opinion, this season. Obviously, don't get me wrong, I think it showed a lot who we brought on and who they brought on. Obviously, we bring on Craig Forsyth, Liam Thompson, Tyrhys Dolan, James Collins. I don't even know who else came on, to be completely honest with you. But they're the players we bring on. They bring on Sazmodics, Andreas Weimann. I can't remember the name of their other striker that scored, but like the difference in quality and things like that, and it's a bit of a joke, really. And obviously, I think today really shows probably David Clowes, probably Stephen Pearce, Paul Warne as well, that we really need some investment into this squad if we're going to be competitive this year, because that was not a competitive performance. And obviously a lot of people are going to talk about that 20-25 minutes in the second half, but it's okay being good for 20-25 minutes, but if we are good for 20-25 minutes against a Leeds, a Burnley, a Luton Town, a Sheffield United, we're going to get absolutely fisted. We're going to get ruined by those teams as we come into those games, unless we better the squad. And we've got to better the squad quickly. We've got to better the squad overnight, really. We need new players in for Middlesbrough. We need new players in for Watford. We need new players in for Bristol City. We need new players in for all of our games, because I just don't think we have a good enough team. Well, if you have not done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn on that notification bell. If you have not done so already, let me know your thoughts on this performance down in the comments. I think it's been absolutely tragic. Certainly not a performance I was anticipating to start off this campaign. But make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and let me know your thoughts down below. I put us as 21st. I know this is going to be a long season in my prediction, and I predicted that this game would be a draw. I thought it would be tight, but it was anything but tight. And if you go back to last season, the way we started, it started off with defensive errors, and we've done the same again. And I don't think we have the quality to do what we did last season. And I think, how far into this season can we go before you sort of start discussing, is Paul Warne under pressure? Now, obviously, I'm not saying he's under pressure after a 4-2 defeat tonight. I'm not saying that. And obviously, there's a long way to go in this season. But it's for me, you lose 4-2 on the opening day. We've got to go and beat Chesterfield now. And in my opinion, we've got to go and beat Middlesbrough. And things, the tide will change. The opinion will change. Things will change as things happen during the season. Of course it will. But if we perform like that over the course of a 46 game season, we are getting relegated. We are going down easily. We'll be smack bang at the bottom. And don't get me wrong, I have hope and I have faith in these players based on that 20-minute spell that we do have the capabilities to win games in this division. But when you look at how that 20-25 minutes came about, we get on the ball, we play the ball, and that's not Paul Warne's style. I personally do believe that maybe this squad would be better off under a different manager. I'm not saying we should sack Paul Warne tonight, obviously not. As I said at the back end of last season, Paul Warne earned a summer window, and he earned probably until October, November time, really, to be judged based on what he's done over the course of the last 12 months. The promotion is obviously massive for the club, but at the same time, so is being in the Championship, and that's something which will obviously be being discussed internally, because if relegation is on the cards this season, at some point that conversation is going to happen of, is sticking with Paul Warne the right decision, or is it time to move on? And I'm not saying that that's going to happen in August. I'm not saying it's going to happen in September. But if we get to 10, 15 games in and it's not got any better, I do think there's a possibility that Paul Warne's card will be drawn, and then it's a discussion of who can take over. And obviously I think it's too early to get into those discussions. We could be having a completely different discussion in a week's time, heading into Middlesbrough after a potential win versus Chesterfield, or after the Middlesbrough game if we win that. So it's a very different, it's difficult to look at this game. And if I go back to how I felt after Oxford United last year, after Wigan Athletic, after Blackpool, at the start of the season, it's that same gut-wrenching feeling that I've got, where it's like, it just doesn't look right, it doesn't feel right, and we're missing in key areas that we knew we were going to be missing since about January. Whether we went up or stayed down, we was always going to be missing players in those positions, and we're still missing players in those positions. We don't even, we've had news tonight that Karamako Dembele is going to QPR for £3 million. Well, €3 million, but it's another thing where I just think we're just missing players in key areas. We need more attackers that are impactful at Championship level, that have Championship experience. We need more impactful midfielders, because I thought Kenzo had a really good game. I thought he was really good. I thought Ben Osborne was really good too. But, and to be fair to you, I don't think David Ozo was terrible. But we just had no control for a majority of the game. And is that because of Paul Warne's style? Is that because of the midfield we had? Now, I felt at times we were sitting too deep, or the forwards were way too high, and the gaps were massive, and we were just getting played through. And don't get me wrong, we had our moments in the game, and obviously that's going to happen over the course of the season. We're going to have our moments, but it's one of those for me where I'm just really, really disappointed with that. I thought it was an absolutely tragic performance, and I'm really hoping it picks up over the course of the next week, really, because I do think Paul's head could be on a chopping block quite quickly among the fan base. I know for a fact there's many people which aren't sure about him anyway heading into this campaign, and weren't sure about him last season. And a lot of people talk about the promotion, but Paul Warne got us promoted, but ultimately we should have been champions last year. It was the poor start with the reason why we didn't run away with the league, really. So obviously I'm going to end this one there. I'm going to do a full match review in my Sky Bet Championship review that will probably come out on Tuesday morning, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to see when that drops, and I'll catch you in my next video. Make sure to go and find me on TikTok, pictured here, and Twitter, pictured here. These are the places where I'll keep you all up to date with all my upcoming videos and my thoughts and feelings around the Formula 1 and football weekend.